Hey guys, Phil here at Woods Tree Farm, and I've been wanting to make this video for a little while now. You've seen maybe recently, if you've been following along, I've been doing a few videos on clearing some trees and making some firewood, and I started collecting firewood here kind of on the front of my property right next to where we have our big fire pit. And I made a video a little while ago, I'll link it in here now, where I was comparing 3 different splitting axes that I have, and I was trying to figure out kind of how those different splitting axes worked, the good and the bad, and ultimately which one was best at splitting firewood. So when I was doing that video, I was thinking to myself, I don't really know, I think I actually mentioned in the video, I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to doing firewood. I don't have a huge amount of experience in splitting wood, and in fact last time I needed to split wood, I just rented a log splitter, and I was thinking about doing that same thing again, just piling up rounds here, renting a log splitter, and then in one afternoon just splitting it all. But what I realized is that splitting wood really doesn't take all that long, especially if you know what you're doing. So a little while ago, just after I published my video comparing the 3 different splitting axes, Homestead J put up a video on the proper technique, if you want to call it that, for swinging an axe and splitting wood. According to what he described, I was doing it all wrong. So when I was splitting wood, I was just picking the maul or the splitting axe up this way over my head and swinging it straight down. And if you think about it, and Homestead J pointed this out in his video, you're using a lot of energy to lift up that heavy maul, stop it back here over your head, and start it again in that way. And you know, the physics behind that are pretty simple. So what he suggested instead is just lifting the maul up over your head and then letting gravity bring it down that way. So I started doing that, and I realized, wow, maybe I don't need to rent a log splitter after all, because doing it that way takes a lot less effort, and I can reserve a lot more energy for splitting more wood, and less energy is wasted on constantly lifting, starting, and stopping the movement of the maul here. So what I wanted to do in today's video was just spend 10 minutes, and I'll speed this up so you don't have to wait 10 minutes. But I was gonna, I'll actually set a timer for 10 minutes, and we'll see how much of this wood I can get through. All right, and this is what I'll be splitting here. I have a whole bunch of this pine. If I get through all this, I have a few rounds over there of some gum and some oak as well. So we'll see how it goes. This is a pallet underneath, so there's 2 big rows of pine rounds here, and I think I will not get through this in 10 minutes, but we'll see. So let me go ahead and put my gloves on here. And if you have any thoughts or feedback about the swing technique that can make this more efficient, then I'm all ears. Because like I've said numerous times, I don't have a lot of experience doing this, and I am certainly open to hearing more from you guys about how to do this more efficiently. So I'm gonna throw the gloves on, and I'm gonna start the clock, and my 10 minutes is going to include pulling some rounds down and getting ready to crack them. So here we go. So here we go, timer, 10 minutes. 3, 2, 1, start. We're starting. that I do. I'll have to watch back on the replay how much of that I got through. Not gonna lie, I thought I'd get through more, but some of those rounds have a lot of branches and knots in them. They weren't all straight, so spent a little bit of time really whacking on those, trying to break them apart. But I got through, what would we say, maybe a third of the rounds that were stacked here, and yes, I'm a little bit out of breath. That was a little harder than I thought. The other day I did 10 minutes of almost all oak, and I got through a lot of it. And that red oak that I split the other day also didn't have as many branches as this pine did, so I think that makes a difference. Anyway, you can see 10 minutes, got through about a third of it here. You know, if every time I come out on the farm I do 5 or 10 minutes of splitting, I'll get through this stuff in no time, and I'll save $100 or so by not running a log splitter again. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so I got a little bit of work done. Not as much as I thought I'd get done in 10 minutes, but was it more than I could have done in 10 minutes with a log splitter? I don't know, maybe. If it's just a, you know, single wedge log splitter that doesn't have a very fast cycle time, I might have gotten about the same amount done. Though, would have taken less energy. I wouldn't have been out of breath like I am now. I get it, I get it. But I wanted to share this video with you because of the swing technique thing that Homestead Jay brought up. And for me, being a newbie, that was really a big difference. Trying to bring the axe way over the head, stopping that momentum, starting that momentum again, was hugely inefficient. And that's the way I was doing it in my last video where I was comparing the splitting axes. So today, I just focused on bringing it straight up, letting gravity bring it back down for the most part. I maybe added a little bit of force on the way down, but point being, not wasting nearly as much energy, and I'm not thoroughly exhausted after 10 minutes of work, though I was a little out of breath. My breath's caught back up now. I'm doing much better. So thanks for watching today. If you got questions or comments about the work we're doing out here on our farm, if you have feedback on the technique that I used in this video, leave those in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share it with your friends, especially anybody who might like this kind of content of us out here working on our farm here in Central Virginia. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.